Welcome to Lair the Alchemist, where we discuss all things heavy metal and hard rock. On today's episode, 10 of my favorite epic length songs. I've always been a fan of longer songs. I think when done right, they can really draw you in and be really engaging. And when placed at the right spot on an album, it can just be really cool, a real highlight of a record. For this, I decided that I would try to pick songs that were at least 10 minutes or longer. All right, I made one exception here on my list out of the 10 that I picked. So if you want to leave some comments down below with some of your favorite epic length songs, they don't have to be 10 minutes. They can be whatever you think, longer songs. I think you know what I mean by songs that are just more involved, have more going on in them, tend to have maybe different sections to the song that break away from the typical verse, chorus, guitar solo format. Okay, I didn't put them in any particular order here, so I'm just going to go by my pile. From Led Zeppelin's Presence album, sort of an overlooked album in Zeppelin's catalog, I went with Achilles' Last Stand, which is the opening track, and this comes in at 10 minutes and 31 seconds. This is my favorite song from this record. I think it's one of Led Zeppelin's heaviest songs, if not their heaviest songs. It's an awesome way to start the record. I love the riff in it that Page is playing. I love Plant's delivery, and John Bonham's drums are just absolutely awesome on this. So from Presence, Achilles' Last Stand. A lot of times a band, their epic songs tend to be in the back half of the record, but I thought that it was great that this album starts with an epic tune. All right, from Rush, Caress of Steel. I could have picked a ton of different Rush songs. They got a lot of songs over 10 minutes, but I went with the Necromancer. I love this album because it's heavy. The Necromancer is great. It clocks in at, let me see here, 12 minutes and 28 seconds. The way it starts with the very mellow and trippy and that spoken voice thing pitched kind of lower. I love the part where the riff starts, the ba-do-ba-ba, ba-da-da-da-da-da. That is just absolutely killer, man. I love that, and Geddy's vocal delivery in there. Brooding in the tower! Oh, man. So cool. Love it. I loved when Rush, this era of Rush, when they were really heavy. So, the Necromancer from Caress of Steel. And I believe that song that's on side one of the record. That ends side one of the album, which is pretty cool. You know there's going to be a lot of prog bands on this list because prog acts, they love doing long songs. From Jimi Hendrix, Electric Ladyland, 1983, A Merman I Should Be. This clocks in at 13 minutes and 39 seconds. I love the trippy nature of it, the sort of sound effects, the underwater vibe that Hendrix gives to parts of the song. It really makes me wonder. This is the last studio album that was released when Jimmy was alive, and it really makes me wonder where Jimmy would have gone. Maybe he would have gone in this direction, this more exploring longer songs and more almost progressive. And this is probably the most progressive song, one of the most progressive songs in Jimmy's catalog. 1983, A Merman I Should Be. Let's see here. The title track from Yes's Close to the Edge. This comes in at 18 minutes and 38 seconds. You knew there was going to be a Yes song on here somewhere. I could have gone with Tales from Topographic Oceans, but honestly, I like that record, but this Fragile, the Yes album, Close to the Edge, to me are the three like golden Yes albums from this era. Close to the Edge is awesome. It's got just great musicianship all over it. And it's one of these songs that it's long, but it doesn't feel long because it moves along. It's just not like long where there's just a lot of guitar solos or drum solos or something. There's a lot of interesting sections, and John Anderson's melody line is great. There's a great hook to the song, the chorus of the song. So, Close to the Edge from Yes. And this, when is this on the record? This is ends side one. It is side one. It's all of side one of the record. So there you go. This is another one that starts off with an epic. All right, Pink Floyd, Atom Heart Mother, and the song Atom Heart Mother. I really love this song. It is 23 minutes and 41 seconds. I like when bands incorporate orchestras, but in this sense, like, it was composed with an orchestra. It wasn't like the band later on in their career, they just added an orchestra to an older song. It was like, it was part of the song. Although, interestingly enough, if you hear Pink Floyd's early days box set, there's a bunch of versions of them doing Atom Heart Mother without the orchestra. And for the most part, all the melodies that you hear the orchestra playing, they're there in the band. They're just playing it either on the organ or with the guitar. Even the choir part, of course, they don't do the choir part when it's without the orchestra, but David Gilmour sings like sort of the main melody lines of the choir part. But hearing it with the orchestra and the choir, I think is super cool. I love this record. I love that song. I just think it's absolutely awesome. I got to do a video on this. So this is one of my favorites, Atom Heart Mother, at 23 minutes and 41 seconds. All right, here's a famous one, Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick. So I'm going to go with the side one, part one, if you want to say that. 22 minutes, 40 seconds. Another example of a great song because it moves through, a great longer song, epic song, because it moves through a lot of different things, and there's melodies, and it keeps you engaged. It doesn't feel like it's dragging on. In my opinion, it moves by pretty quickly. The album that came out after this, Passion Play, I would say missed the mark a little bit, although I like Passion Play. Thick as a Brick, for me, is spot on here, and it's a great example of maybe the pinnacle of like classic rock. It's progressive rock. It's got to be high up on the list. Love Thick as a Brick. All right, I could have picked a lot of songs from Iron Maiden. I went, though, with Rime of the Ancient Mariner. That comes in at 13 minutes and 38 seconds. Maiden was kind of known for their epic songs around this time. Alexander the Great, Hallowed Be Thy Name, Phantom of the Opera. But for me, Rime of the Ancient Mariner is just absolutely awesome. An incredible way to close out the record. Amazing album closer. It's got great melodies from Bruce. The lyrics in it are amazing. It's a Steve Harris penned song. The whole middle section where everything drops out and it's just the bass playing that repetitive figure and the sound effects of the ocean and the creaking ship and everything and the spoken word part. And the way it comes in after that, the guitar solo sections in it are amazing. The way they move and the way it eventually comes back to the main riff is just absolutely incredible. So probably my favorite Iron Maiden epic, Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Okay, here's a band that, did I write down? Yep, here's a band that's experimented with the orchestra thing for one album, Uriah Heep, Salisbury. The title track, 16 minutes. This is sort of like, I wouldn't say it's as good as Atom Heart Mother, but again, I like this idea of incorporating an orchestra into a piece from the beginning in the original composition, and I think Salisbury is really cool. It's got a lot of, again, different changes to it. It's at a point with Uriah Heep where they're sort of experimenting and they're looking for a sound, maybe. You know, they haven't quite honed in on their sound yet. I kind of wish that maybe they had done a little bit more with this kind of progressive type of thing with the orchestra and everything. And this closes out the album, and I think it's a really cool, awesome way to close the record. And my last pick here is from Operation Mindcrime, Sweet Sister Mary, and this, I believe, closes out the album. Oh no, not quite closes out the album. It starts side 2, but it's clocks in at 10 minutes and 39 seconds. It's kind of changes the mood of the record here, starting on side 2. It's like the spoken word thing at the beginning, we need you to kill her and everything. And again, this is another song that, although it's long, it doesn't feel long because it's very engaging. And I love this record. I did a video on this. I talked about how it's cool that it's not a double album. It's like they just really condensed the story down, and it's very effective to me. There are no weak songs on this record, and I just think it's an awesome way to start side 2. For me, it sort of changes, the mood of the record sort of changes a little bit, and it goes into a little bit of a darker zone, a darker area. So, Sweet Sister Mary from Queensryche, Operation Mindcrime. All right, there you go. Those are 10. Oh, wait, I left one out here. This one, now I broke my rule slightly on this one. I said they all got to be 10 minutes or over, but I really wanted to include this one because I love it. Green Day from the American Idiot album, the song Jesus of Suburbia. It's a little over 9 minutes. This is my honorable mention. We'll put this in at number 10. My son is a big Green Day fan, and when he got this record, I heard this song playing, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. And I had never heard it before. It's long at 9 minutes for a band like Green Day that normally does like 3.5-minute songs, but it moves very quickly. It's like mini songs. It's like a whole bunch of little songs in one, and it's just awesome. I took my son to see Green Day not too long ago, and they played this, and it was super cool. I love it. I know Green Day's not really a metal band. They're not a metal band. You know, they're a pop punk band or whatever you want to call them. But I think that that's a super cool song, and I think it's a really great example of how you can write a long song and just keep it really engaging, the way they just keep moving between one great riff after another and great melody lines. The spot in the song where it goes, da-da-da-da, City of the Damned. I think love it. Great. So I just want to throw that in there. It's kind of my number 10, my honorable mention. I broke the rule a little bit, slightly under 10 minutes. All right, there you go. Let me know some of your favorite epic, long-length songs. They don't have to be over 10 minutes. They can be whatever you feel is epic, or, you know, outside the typical 3.5 to 5 minute, you know, range. You know, so let's say maybe over 5 minutes. So let me know in the comments down below some of your favorite long, epic length songs. Check out the Lair, the Alchemist Spotify podcast. And until we see you again, make sure you stay heavy, stay metal.